here's my exact process on doing 100K in sales or working 1 hour a day. And to be honest, even a little bit less at this time, as I'm spending a lot of time in Asia while traveling through the Philippines, Japan, and Thailand. So I have a lot on my plate. So I'm probably working about 3 to 4 hours a week. But this is my exact process, and it's not entirely complicated or overcomplicated for even beginners to do, because this is what I've been doing since I started. So I'm gonna walk it through step by step on how I make this work. Okay, so here are my sales, as you can see, for the past month and a half or so. 106K in sales. And again, this isn't profit. It's probably around 18 to 20K in profit. That's the margin that I work at, but it's a really good living out here in Southeast Asia. So copy my exact process, because this is what I do from start to finish. So I wake up in the morning and I look at the sales for the last day. Right now I'm averaging around $2,500 to $3,000 in sales every day. Sometimes it spikes up to 4,000 on really good days, but for the most part, that is the average over the course of the month. So I track the sales to see which products perform at the best levels. Then what I do is I go ahead to make my inventory purchases. So right now I'm spending a lot of money, around 40 to 50K a month in inventory, and hoping to get that up to 75K. So when I go to make a new inventory purchase, this is exactly how I fill out the sheet, and I do it every single morning, regardless if I'm in Asia or the US or Europe, or whatever timeline it may be. So I'll list it here, the date of when I place the date. Then I have 3 sourcing members who I'm going to visit in about 2 hours. So I'll list what their name is. Then the supplier will just say it's PetSmart, and the item will say koi balls, maybe that for like fish or something. ASIN number right here, and a specific ASIN number Amazon has for every single product on the listing. No, it's not hazmat. Let's say I spent $1,000 and I had 100, and the email that I used was jiscool@gmail. And then I always list my credit card, because I have 3 credit cards I use for inventory purchases. Really just 2, but I like to list out which one I use, just in case I have to go and track that purchase. No, not a subscription. And go to either my email to send the supplier an order update or pay for the invoice, or I just go directly to their website, to the checkout page, and place an order for $1,000 or $2,000. Now you can't do that with every single supplier, like Walmart, which I don't recommend buying from at all. You can't do that from Walgreens or Target, or CVS, not Target. They're also another bad supplier, because you can't place those high inventory purchases. But from smaller retailers and you have a relationship with, you can just go on their website and place an order with them, which is what I always preach. So I'll go here on my email and go ahead to do that. Also, I can check my other email, which I have my team reaching out to suppliers and building relationships. So sometimes I pop over to that to make sure that all is going well there. Next thing, that through any of the opportunities that Marie had brought to the table, which this is one of my sourcing members, Roel. I have 2 main ones, which is Roel and Christian, and then Marie is my team leader of all of them. So I'll come in here to the sheet to see which opportunities are really good ones. And I like to mark their sheets with yellow, green, or red, from bad to good, on potential opportunities for the business. So that way they're always getting constant feedback on what works. Now, when they bring up a potential opportunity, I'm literally just gonna click on it and see if it works for the business or not. And if it does, I'm gonna move forward the process when it comes to purchasing, whether that's reaching out to Marie, my team leader, or that's just going ahead to place the order immediately myself. And then what I'll do is I'll go back into the order section and I will update the inventory spend to see where we're at for the new purchase. And going through that, my team leader and my account manager notify the prep center of what inventory is coming inbound. We've been working with the same prep center for a few years now, so they're very comfortable with our process and all the tracking numbers and everything like that. So it's very, very smooth and easy. But when it comes to identifying which opportunities, at this stage of the business, I'm not looking for all of these quick opportunities, whether it is to make $200 or $500 one time. I like to do a little bit of recurring monthly revenue, and that might be $1,000 profit, $2,000 profit, and that's what I really want to add on to the business as a good, consistent player and opportunity for us. So when it comes to opening up this lead, this is my exact process. I go right into the Keepa chart first. I see what's going on. You can see here the seller count is rising a bit. I go and check the buy box rotation to see how much competition we have to win sales. I'll look at the seller's count, the sales volume over time, and I'll also open up the entire chart for the past year to see what the status of this lead is and if it has a good long-term opportunity. Because again, if I can make $300-400 on this listing, it's not that good to me. But if I could do it every single month, maybe for the next 5 or 6 months, and it doesn't have really chaotic, fluctuations in volume, then I'm really happy about it. So once I go to check this, I'll then go to verify the supplier to make sure that the supplier is on cue and what we're looking for. I go through Trustpilot, Google reviews, anything like that to make sure that the supplier is good, and hopefully we worked with the supplier before, so that way I don't have to worry about doing that. Now, when I do go through those leads, I'll mark it as green, red, right? Like I mentioned, one, it gives good feedback for the team, and it gives me a good idea and understanding of, okay, if we're gonna actually go ahead to purchase the lead. And when I do purchase the lead, I just put it here in the order system and making sure that the prep center gets it, and we're tracking all of our inventory spend over the course of the month. And from here, all I do here is really just wait for the order to sell. Now my inventory is going inbound to Amazon. And I also have a software which is called BQ, which is a repricing software. There's many of them in the Amazon space, but I've been using it for the last few years. And I will go to BQ to see if I need to change the pricing of any of our current inventory that's at Amazon. But typically there's not too much competition or flooding of the listings, so the pricing is typically the same. And from here, I'm just rinsing and repeating the process for the next day. Of course, I'm gonna have communication with my team, checking in with them, seeing how everything's going, if they have any questions. And once a week or once every few weeks, I will have a team meeting with them and a team call. But I like using my phone to send, WhatsApp voice memos, because they get a really good picture on everything of what's going on with the business. I give them updates of how we're performing, what we need to work on, and go from there. But other than that, the process is very, very fluid, and it wouldn't be able to work with 3 to 4 hours a day without them. But of course, you could start the business with 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week, whatever it may please of what you have on your hands. But you just have to understand that it might take a little bit more time in growing and escalating the business, because you're not going to scale to 7 figures or 8 figures by not investing a little time. But that's with any business and any big project that you get into. But of course, as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of work once you actually learn the fundamentals and the basics of how the entire process works with Amazon. And that's my exact way of doing it, and literally license the process out, do the exact same process that I'm doing, because it works for me and it's good for me while I'm traveling around the world. So there you guys go. And if you like this video, as always, please subscribe. I'm making one every other day for the rest of your life, and I have some amazing videos coming up as I'm interviewing my out-and-chart gal to get their firsthand recommendations or ideas of what they're experiencing in their day-to-day life, how it is working for an Amazon business, and everything in between that. All right, so there we go, and I'll see you guys in the next one.